phone's shrill ring jolted me from the deepest sleep I'd had in weeks. Selina murmured something incoherent and burrowed deeper under the covers, while Marmalade gave me an accusatory glare from her perch on the nightstand. I fumbled for my cell, squinting at the caller ID. Bruce. My stomach dropped. Had something gone wrong? Hello. Renee, I have some terrific news. Bruce's voice carried an energy I hadn't heard in months, maybe years. He sounded almost giddy. Listen, Bruce, I'm sorry I spent the night here. I was just exhausted and Never mind that. Listen, Dick and I have been giving the old Batmobile a makeover. I sat up, fully awake now. The Batmobile, you guys got it working. That's right. I need you down here right now. You've got to learn how to control the sucker. Despite everything, the looming confrontation with Shrek, the uncertainty about my physical state, the ticking clock on whatever price reality would demand, I felt a smile spread across my face. All right, I'll be there soon. I hung up and gave Selina a gentle nudge. She opened one blue eye, looking adorably rumpled. Emergency. Not exactly. You want to see my new wheels? Both eyes opened. The Batmobile, seriously. Apparently, Dick and Bruce have been pulling an all-nighter in the garage. Selina was out of bed in seconds, already pulling on clothes. If you think I'm missing this, you're insane. We made it to the bunker in 40 minutes, stopping only for coffee and bagels from a corner shop. The winter sun hung low and pale over Gotham, casting long shadows across the Wayne Estate's grounds. The hidden entrance through the maintenance tunnel seemed less ominous in daylight, though Selina still moved with a cat burglar's instinctive caution. The bunker's garage bay had been transformed overnight. Work lights blazed, illuminating what had once been a dust-covered relic under a tarp. Now the vehicle gleamed like a predator ready to pounce. The new Batmobile retained the original's aggressive, armored profile, but with modern upgrades. Matte black composite panels replaced the older steel plating, and I could see reinforced wheel wells housing run-flat tires. The cockpit canopy was tinted nearly opaque from the outside. Holy hell, I breathed. Dick emerged from underneath the chassis on a mechanic's creeper, grease smeared across his forehead. She's a beauty, right? Bruce and I stripped her down to the frame, rebuilt the engine, upgraded the electronics. Jet turbine propulsion, Bruce added, rolling his chair closer. His eyes shone with unmistakable pride. Same basic model as the one I used, but Dick updated the computer systems. GPS, thermal imaging, electromagnetic pulse shielding, remote operation capability. Selina walked slowly around the vehicle, running her fingers along the smooth panels. This is what you drove when you were Batman. A version of it, yes, though this one's faster. Bruce gestured to me. Come here. You need to familiarize yourself with the controls before we let you loose on the streets. The cockpit was surprisingly spacious once I slid inside. The seat adjusted automatically to my frame, and a heads-up display flickered to life across the canopy, bathing everything in soft blue light. Control panels flanked both sides of the steering column, covered in switches and buttons whose purposes I could only guess. Don't touch anything yet, Dick warned, leaning in through the open canopy. See the red switches? Those are weapons systems. You've got smoke dispensers, oil slick, electromagnetic pulse, and Bruce's personal favorite, grappling hooks that can anchor to buildings or other vehicles. The yellow panel controls defensive systems, Bruce continued from his chair, his voice carrying the patient tone of a professor with a prized student. Armor plating can be angled via hydraulics. You can seal the cockpit completely and run on internal oxygen for up to 2 hours. There's also a Kevlar cocoon that deploys in case of catastrophic impact. I ran my hands over the steering wheel, feeling the textured grip. How fast does she go? Top speed is classified, Dick said with a grin. But let's just say you could outrun anything the GCPD has, including their helicopters. The question is whether you can handle her. Bruce rolled closer, his gray eyes serious now. This isn't like driving a car, Renee. The power-to-weight ratio is extreme. The turning radius is designed for high-speed urban pursuit. One mistake at full throttle and you'll put yourself through a building. So we start slow, I said. We start in the simulation chamber, Bruce corrected. Dick set up a virtual training course. You'll run it until you can navigate it blindfolded. Selina had been quiet, still circling the vehicle. Now she spoke up, her voice thoughtful. When you faced Shrek at the construction site, you were outnumbered and outgunned. This evens the odds. More than evens them, Dick agreed. With this, you can hit multiple locations quickly, extract civilians if things go sideways, and punch through whatever barriers Shrek's thugs try to put up. Alfred appeared from the elevator carrying a tray with proper breakfast, scrambled eggs, toast, and more coffee. I thought you all might require sustenance before Miss Thomas attempts to demolish expensive military hardware. I'm not going to demolish anything, I protested. Of course not. Miss Alfred's expression suggested he'd heard such assurances before. Master Bruce said the same thing before he drove the original through a department store. Bruce had the grace to look sheepish. That was different. I was being shot at. An eventuality I'm certain will never occur again, Alfred said dryly. We ate quickly, the mood shifting from excitement to focus. Robinson Park was less than 12 hours away. Shrek would make his move soon, whatever it was, and I needed to be ready. Dick pulled up the simulation program on a bank of monitors. Okay, Renee, time to see what you're made of. The course includes high-speed turns, obstacle avoidance, combat scenarios, and emergency braking. Your goal is to complete it in under 4 minutes without hitting anything. I climbed back into the cockpit, Selina squeezing my shoulder before I sealed the canopy. The simulation flickered to life around me, transforming the garage into a rain-slicked Gotham Street at night. Ready, Bruce's voice came through the comm system. I gripped the wheel, feeling the vehicle's power thrumming beneath me like a living thing. Outside, Selina watched with her arms crossed and a slight smile on her lips. Dick stood ready at the monitors. Bruce leaned forward in his chair, every inch the mentor I'd needed. For the first time since rewriting reality at the construction site, I felt like maybe, just maybe, we had a real chance. Ready, I said. The simulation began.